welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time and you would like to learn something about nutrition that will not overwhelm you and you really want to lose some weight, I'm glad you're here and you're at the right place, but please just check the previous videos because it will help you to lay some foundations and then it will be easier to take over from here. Yes, of course, I also want extra views, so yeah, please go and check that out, but that's not the only reason, okay? See you here in a bit. Thank you. And if you're here since the beginning of the time with me, you know it, but I will say it again. I'm very grateful to you and I hope that means that you're getting some value here. Okay, so today we are talking finally about weight loss. It is a very tricky topic, especially for people who've been struggling with yo-yo dieting all the time, or emotional eating, or just generally not having a very good relationship with food. So I will try to be gentle here and explain it as simple as possible. But it still can be that you, as an individual, first need to work on some other topics than weight loss. What is weight loss? Ideally, it's losing fat while maintaining muscle. Okay, muscle is important, people, for so many health reasons, not just for the looks. Okay, you don't want to lose your muscle, remember that. Good. How do we achieve that? Losing fat, calorie deficit, preserving muscle, high protein, and resistance training. Resistance training is what? Any type of training where you're lifting some weights, even if it's your body weight. If you're doing even reformer Pilates, it's also type of resistance training. Are you burning the same amount of calories in reformer Pilates as regular weightlifting training and circuit trainings with dumbbells at home? Not really, but if you can stick to it for a longer period of time, then yes, it is the right tool for you. Okay, calorie deficit. What is that? I will explain in a bit, but let's talk about cardio first. I'm not against cardio. It's a great tool to lose weight, to be healthy mentally and physically, but to lose fat and preserve muscle, you don't need it, okay? You need workouts with weights, any type of resistance, okay? And you need to move in between as much as you can. Okay, if you hate running, cycling, swimming, whatever, you don't have to do it. But you need to find ways how you can move besides your workouts. Because on a whole 1 week base of 7 days times 24 hours, if you work out 3 hours per week, that's not significant amount of time and calories burnt that will affect your weight loss. It's sad, but it is like that. Exercise is so important for so many reasons. One of them is maintaining also muscle, if you're not building it, which is not topic for today, but it just doesn't burn that many calories overall in your life, and yet you should not skip it. Yeah, okay. But cardio, only if you really enjoy it, some cardio classes, dancing, swimming, running, walking, whatever it is, you really enjoy it and gives you more than just the burn, then please doing it, okay? It's additional tool to help you burn more calories, so then to reach the energy deficit gets easier. It's nothing more than that. You don't have to force yourself to do it, because if you do and at some point you quit because you hate it, it doesn't bring you much. Okay, so find resistance type of workouts that you can do 2-3 times per week, and in between move as much as you can. Every movement, every step, every stair, everything counts. Okay, good. Calorie deficit simply means that you're eating less than what your body needs to maintain all the functions, to maintain your weight based on how much you move during the day and so on and so on. So if you eat less than body needs to take care of all of that, it will start burning parts of your body, literally. And how do we get there? There are different diets, I know, but different diets are nothing else than someone giving you copy-paste way to reduce calories, which by the way can be too drastic and unhealthy, and it's not how you can live your whole life, and it will just make you yo-yo diet. Yes, I know many people lost a bunch of kilograms on UN diet and keto diet and all of that, yes, but if the way for you to lose weight is completely different than what your regular life looks like, most likely you will not maintain that weight loss. It means you will gain weight again. Okay, so we need to find a way that for you individually is restrictive but feels the least restrictive. What I mean by that, if you cannot imagine your life without pasta and a bit of bread, then maybe for you it's not the way to reduce completely, cut out those carbs out of your life, because you might end just dreaming about them and hating every awakened minute without them. So we don't want to get there. It's not your way for weight loss, okay? We can achieve energy deficit 3 ways: time restriction, macronutrient restriction, or counting calories, but I would not suggest calorie counting to everyone. Let's go first to time restriction or intermittent fasting. It is a great tool to lose fat, but it's not magic. Nothing special happens during those fasting hours except you postponing your food and eating less in those eating hours. Nothing else. If you fast for 20 hours and then in 4 hours you binge eat and eat 5,000 calories, you will still not lose weight, no matter all the fasting you did before that. It simply doesn't work that way. Intermittent fasting works as any other diet in the world because it puts you in calorie deficit, nothing else. So if it makes you feel crazy when you're not eating and just thinking when it's your first meal, God, where is it, when is it? It's not for you. And if you're a woman who still has her period, it's not for you either. Tops 12 hours without food. More than that puts you in a shady area which can mess up your hormones, and believe me, you don't want to go there. But if generally for people who are outside of this population, you feel it's easier if I just skip my meal and don't think about it and then I start eating later, that's your way to go, feel free to do so. No problemo. Okay? Time restriction means you reduce eating, not overeat during those eating hours. Okay? Good. Second, you reduce macronutrient. What we don't ever want to reduce is protein. Okay? Protein, we need more when we want to lose fat and preserve muscle than when we want to build it, okay? High protein diet during weight loss is extremely important because protein makes us feel full more than any macronutrient, because it doesn't have many calories if it's low fat, and then also because, as I said, it helps you to preserve muscle. We want fiber as well, because combined with protein makes you feel even fuller, makes your life even more amazing. We also need at least minimum healthy fats, because we cannot go zero. We need it for health reasons as well, okay? We need base for fats, protein high, and fiber, okay? I will not go strict into the amounts, but I want you to understand the basics. And if you've done your homework by now, what I gave you, this will be a lot easier. You already know where you can find lean protein, where you can find fiber, where you can find healthy fats, okay? But as we said, fiber is just part of carbohydrates. You can have high fiber and high carbohydrate meal, or you can have high fiber and low carbohydrate meal. In case you choose that for you it's easier to skip those carbs, you can imagine your life easily without pasta and bread, then you just reduce that. You can also ditch it completely if it will not make you think about it all the time. If you can have a plate with full of vegetables and meat or fish or whichever source of protein you chose, and you feel full and satisfied and it was tasty, then yes, it's way to go. If you force yourself to eat whole plate of vegetables and meat and you hate every single part of it and you just dream of that pasta, then in that case you want to reduce fats, so you want that minimum. We don't want to skip it. You don't want to use only air fryer and eat only lean. It's not healthy. We need some healthy fats, okay? In that case, you will eat high protein, high fiber, carbs as well, but you will reduce the fat, okay? You will have it in form of cooking oil, or if you have in a salad oil, or if you want some crunch on top with nuts and seeds, like if you make oatmeal with the protein, then that's your low fat, high carb and high protein. You still reduce the calories, okay? But if you would rather have full fat cheese, you like all the fatty stuff, you like beef, you like fatty fish, then maybe for you it's better way to go to reduce carbs and go higher fat and protein. That might sound like low carb diet, but yeah, it is low carb diet, but it's only there for you because that's what you would prefer compared to the alternative. You get my point, okay? And then that still doesn't mean you are not allowed to eat any fun foods that are outside of the approach you took, okay? So if you eat low carb diet for your main meals and you feel like you need something sweet to satisfy that sweet tooth after a meal, yeah, you can have a piece of chocolate. Why not? A bit of ice cream or a fruit or something. You're not preparing for bodybuilding competition. You're finding something that's sustainable for you forever. I know that many people who will watch this will turn off this video in the middle of my sentence because they will be like, that simply doesn't work. I cannot eat just a tiny piece and I will use the diet because Sharon did it and she lost a bunch of kilograms and I want it as well. Jasna, bye-bye. It's okay, but did Sharon maintain that weight after she lost it? No one talks about it. We want something that's sustainable for life. Great way also to deal with those fun foods, to not skip them and make even bigger food issue, is to have them after your meal with the approach you chose, and then you have it on top, or you simply have it together. For example, if you want to have Nutella, you can have oatmeal with high protein and you put a teaspoon of Nutella with nuts and berries. Why not? Or if you like to eat hamburger, okay, no problem. Have real piece of hamburger with the bun, with the meat and everything, but don't put all the sauces, don't put the mayonnaise and ketchup and God knows what else they have there that you don't even know what's inside. Pick only one and don't put a bunch of it, okay? And the most important thing, don't hate me, skip the fries, okay? Because I'm sure hamburger is more tasty to you than fries, and fries are just simply not bringing you anything what you want right now. I'm not saying don't eat fries ever again in your life. I'm just saying if you want to be on your weight loss journey in sustainable way, sometimes you will have to skip the fries. And that's just how it is. You cannot have it all. Unfortunately, when it comes to weight loss and many things in life, we simply cannot have it all. But we can choose what's the least hard for us to do because it will keep us going for longer. So instead of those fries, have a salad. Again, don't put high calorie sauces on top. In that case, I called it shady eating because if we see fun foods as black and healthy foods as white, if we combine them, they give us gray, shady. Get the point? That's also fine. But we still need to know what's happening and are you really losing the weight or not? Because you can still change the way you eat and it's amazing and that's the most important, believe me. At a certain point, we still want the results, right? Well, then we need to measure that progress. And no, I didn't forget, we still need to talk about calorie counting. I will get there, okay? But now let's focus on you choosing time restriction or restricting any of carbs or fats, okay? And then we measure it. You make measurements around your legs, arms, chest, waist, you know how it goes. If not, ask AI, not me. And then you measure yourself and compare the progress after weeks and months and so on. other option is weighing yourself. It's a tricky one because many people are stressed when they weigh themselves. It affects their whole day, the week and month. It can also be because they didn't know what's the right way to do it. If you weigh yourself a couple of times per week at different times of the day and you're eating different types of food, you really don't know what's happening to your body because there are so many water fluctuations that will show more or less on the scale, and that means nothing regarding fat, especially if you're a woman and you have hormonal changes. We have even more water fluctuations in our body. That really doesn't say much. So if you will choose weighing yourself, you need to do it the right way. Ideally, every single morning before food, ideally after poop, no clothes or always the same. Write down the number. Do that at least 5 times per week. Count the average of the week. Next week you do exactly the same. Then you compare those two averages and you see if something is happening or not. Ideally, you want to have roughly 0.5 kilograms minus per week. If it's kilogram or more, it's too stressful for your body. It means you are eating too less, and at a certain point your body is not stupid. It will trigger huge hunger. It will make you more issues than what it's helping you, and it's better to go slower. So if you find yourself disappointed because you had only 0.3 or 2 or 4, no, that's actually amazing, because yes, there is some change and it's slow, but it's there and you just keep going. Maybe next week will be 0.5, 0.6, that's okay, 0.7, fine. What can also happen if you follow this advice and you go and you lift weights and you're a beginner, and then after a couple of months you see no change on the scale, but you somehow feel different and you think you look different. Well, it happened that you at the same time lost fat and built muscle, and scale doesn't show that. In that case, if you're a beginner and you want to lift weights and you want to measure your progress and know if something is happening, then of course your clothes can help you to know if something is happening or not, or you can measure yourself. Okay, and what if you're not beginner, you're doing weightlifting training, you are walking whenever you can, or doing extra cardio or any other activity, and after a month, still nothing. You weigh yourself and there's no change. You compare the weeks, there's no change. You are choosing the intermittent fasting, or you chose to reduce carbs, and somehow still nothing. Well, in that case, it can still be that you're not in energy deficit, okay? And if you already are doing enough of workouts that you cannot fit in more into your schedule to move more, burn more calories, then it means you need to again reduce something in your food. It means you're still eating for maintenance at least, okay? In that case, if you don't struggle with food, you have a normal relationship with it, which means it's not the first thought when you wake up in the morning. You don't think about it all time in between. You don't think about it before sleep. You don't dream about it. You don't feel horrible if you eat some fun foods. You don't punish yourself for that in the workout. Then you are ready to try calorie counting, because it's good to understand calories, okay? Not forever, for the rest of your life to count calories, but just to get impression of where you're making mistake. You need to calculate your BMR. Find it on Google. There are many portals that you just put your age, height, weight, activity level, and it calculates you how many calories you need to stay as you are. And then reduce 500 calories, and that's your daily calorie intake you should achieve every day. Then download MyFitnessPal or any other. There are now many good apps on the market to count calories. Do some research with ChatGPT or whoever, and then start calculating your calories. It does require more effort, more time, but it's a really great tool, as I said, when mentally you're fine with that. All the data you're getting is just a number, it's just information. It doesn't affect your mood or day, or if you eat 5 calories more than what your app says you should, you feel like a total failure, okay? only in case you're completely fine with it and taking it as experiment and to learn more, to understand how many calories your one meal has and how much you need. Okay, it's more reference for you to understand where you're making a mistake, to give you that push, and then you can continue without it later. Counting calories is an amazing tool, but if it will make your days miserable, it's not for you. In that case, if you think you're doing everything right and scale and measurements are still the same, then move more. Try to go for extra walk in a day. Try to do extra workout if you have time for that. If you don't, you cannot count calories, you cannot weigh yourself, it's too stressful for you, and it's very important to you to lose weight, to feel confident, to feel good in your skin. I know how painful that can be. Then I beg you, I know it's not easy, not everyone has money, but go and find someone in your area who can guide you through it. Okay? Then these videos will not help you because the information I'm giving you is correct. I didn't make it up. It's not my specific approach to it. It's just how it is. And if you're still doing something somewhere wrong, you need someone next to you who will guide you. And the last topic regarding weight loss is that if you're not ready to fight your brain and go through discomfort, first obstacle you get, you will quit. Because if you expect it to be easy, no, it will not be a struggle, like painfully, as if you are punished for all the bad stuff you did in your life. No, but it will not be natural. Losing weight is not natural for our body, for our brain. As soon as you start putting yourself what our brain perceives as discomfort because it's new, it will try to find ways to put you back where you were in your comfort zone. And if you're not ready to fight it, to understand that, okay, this is just my brain wanting to bring me to my old patterns, I need to push through it and go this direction and change my habits and change that brain to make that thing that is now uncomfortable, make it comfortable, so finally leaves me alone and let me be, not much will happen. So weight loss is a lot about exercise and nutrition, but it's so much about your attitude. If you don't have deep reason why you're doing it, if you don't have that thing that will push you through when your brain just wants to chill on the sofa and indulge in ice cream and chips, it will be hard. And as I said, we cannot have it all. Weight loss, as definition, is not having it all, reducing something. So you have to be ready for that. And you can be ready for that. And so many people lost weight and changed their lives and feel good in their skin finally. I'm one of them, and maybe I'm not the best example. I've never struggled really with weight. I've never been overweight. I still had a lot on my plate, metaphorically and literally. And I know how it feels, okay? And you can get there. You can change how you look and maintain it and be that person for the rest of your life, not just for the summer. Okay, trust me on that, and trust yourself that you can do it. Yeah, good. Now when we went through all of this, the most important thing as always is to subscribe if you haven't, share, comment, like. And now, next time you go to a bar and a guy approaches you, or you approach a woman, and they ask you something, you say, you have to subscribe for this channel, otherwise we cannot speak. Why? Because you'll definitely leave an impression. Good or bad? I mean, special impression. I just want likes. I just want you to finally take yourself seriously and believe in yourself, and I'm grateful to you for being here. And see you next time. Lots of love. Bye bye.